So the next topic that we are going to study is pandas. And pandas, I tell you, it is very important for you to know it because you're going to use it extensively, right? So pandas is basically a library which is used for data manipulation. Okay, so so what is meant by data manipulation? So data manipulation means that you need to arrange or reorder your data in such a way so that the application of operations, or you can easily perform operations on your data. Also, the data that you will get as a data scientist, that data will be very raw. By raw, I mean that there are it would not be like very clean data. First you would have to clean it. For example, there will be many missing values that will be there. There will be some redundant rows which will be present, which are not for our modeling. Then there might be some presence of outliers. So all this we need to process before we can apply our model, right? And I should tell you that in the whole data modeling or machine learning cycle, the most time that we spend is on data cleaning, like for preparing our data for modeling. Modeling would be done by just a few lines of code, but before that you have to prepare your data. So 80% of your time would be spent in preparing your data for modeling. Okay, so it is very important that we learn this like very nicely. Okay, so pandas is very important. So let's begin. So in pandas we are going to cover all of these topics. We will study about the panda series, the panda data frames, some basic functions we will see. Then we will see how we can select elements from our data frame. First of all, we'll see what is a data frame. Then we will see how can we index that, how can we drop some rows, columns. Then we will filter, we will treat the missing values, we will see the group by aggregations, and then apply functions. So all of these we are going to cover. Pandas being a very a huge topic, we are going to divide it in two sessions. So today we will learn some part, and in the next session we will learn the remaining part. Okay, so let's begin. So the first step that you should do before you want to use any library is to import it, right? So like we have seen the how should we import numpy. Similarly, we should use uh, this this import keyword in order to import our pandas library also. So I'm importing my pandas, and I will say that I want to import pandas as PD. Okay, so we should always use this. Otherwise you won't be able to use the functions that are present in the pandas library, right? So the first data structure that we are going to learn about is the series. Okay, so series is a data structure present in the pandas library, right? So this is the one dimensional data structure. It has just one dimension. Okay, just you can imagine this to be one column of an Excel. Okay, so imagine you have an Excel, a big Excel, and series could be just one column of that Excel, right? So this is how we define a series. So we use this function pd.series to create series. Okay, and inside that I am passing one list which has the elements such as 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so run this and see that this is how we are getting the output. So here you will see that the second column that you are seeing is actually the elements that we have given uh, given as a part of our series, right? So these are the elements that we have provided. But what are these? What are these values that I'm getting in the first column? If I were to say that. So what do you think are these? Can anyone tell me in chat? What do you think are these values? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These values, I understand that these are actually the values that I have given in order to create a series. But what are these? Yeah, index values. Right. Right. You are correct. These are index values. Okay. So we know that in Python, the indices start from 0. So here, that's why we have 0 in the starting and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So these are the indices that are given. But this is still, so can you see this? This is just one dimension, right? We have just one column. Okay, so that's why it is one dimensional. But Excel, if you can imagine, it is two dimensional, right? We have rows as well as column. Okay. You can use the type function to know what is the type of this SCR object that we have created. So you can, you must have already guessed that we should get series as the output because we are creating a series, right? So pandas.code.series. Now you can access the element values, like all of the element values using scr.values. Okay. So see, all of these values we are getting as output in the form of an array, right? So you know, pandas is actually developed based on NumPy only. So all of the functionality of NumPy, that is arrays and everything, is also used in pandas, right? So here we are getting array as an output when we are using dot values method in order to get the values in our series. Right now, next we can use dot index method in order to get the index. Okay, so these are my indices, right? So in order to get those, I will use scr.index. Okay, so here you can see that it tells me that that what is the start of my indices and what is the stop, and it will also tell you the step, right? So here we have 0, 1, just one step is present, so that's why it is returning us this tuple. Okay. Now these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are something uh, which the which Python gives it, right? Like Python adds it by itself. This is the default indices that are given. Okay, but you can also give indices on your own when you want to give. Let's say I want to give indices as A, B, C, D, E. All right. So instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I want A, B, C, D, E. So I can do that by using this this parameter over here. Index is equal to, and then I can pass my list. So this is my list of indices, and I can pass that inside my series function. And then when you run this, you will see that now we have A, B, C, D, E, which are the indices that we have given, that we want to have, okay, rather than 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, rather than default. So this can also be done in in our in our series function while creating our series. And are you able to see my drop down? Are you able to see my drop down here?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So whenever you want to know more about the parameters of a particular function, like it is very impossible that you will know all of the functions from all of the libraries. Okay, it is very difficult to remember everything. So when you do not know what are the parameters for a function, you can just use shift and tab together. Like go inside your function and use shift and tab together. Press shift and tab from your keyboard, and and drop down like this will appear. So this will tell you everything that the programmer has written regarding this particular function. So it will tell you what each parameter mean, what are the parameters that you can use, and all of this stuff. Okay, so see, these all of these are the parameters that we can pass, right? So we are using here index parameter in order to specify what are the indices that we want, right? So now let's move forward in order to see how we can access the values of the series, right? So let's say I want to, so this is my sample series, right? And let's say I want to access the value which is present at the index position C. Okay, so it is again the same way that we have learned so far, like we have learned in list for tuples. So if you remember, we have seen this operator square brackets, which is used to index out, uh, uh, inside which we give the index for which we want the value. Correct? We want to access the value with that index. So we provide that index or index number. For example, in list we were giving the index number, right? So here we will give the index, right? So here we have given the name as such to our indices, so we will use that in order to access the values, right? So here I can use this sample, so this is the name basically of my series, and I will use the square brackets, and inside that I will provide the index for which I want to have the value, right? So now you can see here that the value associated with the index C we are getting as the output. Okay, so this way you can access the elements from your index or from your series using the index, right? And in the similar fashion, you can also assign values, right? So what you have to do, suppose you want to change values in your series. So what you should do, that you should again index out whichever value that you want to change, and then just assign the new value that you want. So let's say here I want to change the 75 to 100. So what I will do, I will first index out. Um, I will index out this value. So how can I do that? By this way. Okay, by this way what we have seen. So sample SCR, that is the name of my series, and then in the square bracket I will use this D index, right? Because I want to change 75 to 100. So I will use this, and I will just simply assign 100 as a new value for this index position. Okay, and then I will print my series, and you will now see that here we have changed the value, right? Previously it was 75, now we have changed it to 100. So in this way you can change the values in your series. Okay, similarly here one more example. We are changing the value of the index position, or sorry, here we are actually adding a new index, right? So F was not present previously. So in the same way, like changing the values for a particular index, you can actually create a new index position and give a value to that, right? So you see previously we did not have any index f, but now we are creating a new index, right? So sample ser, which is my series, and then I'm using this, I'm creating a new index f, and I'm giving it value 99, correct? So now here you have, we have seen that a new index position has been created, right? And you can also create series with a list, okay? So basically the same thing which we had seen earlier over here. Here also we actually, this is the list only that we are passing, right? Anything inside a square bracket is a list. Okay, so even here we are using the list. So here also we are using the same thing. So first we have created a list which I have given name as names, and we have the names of all of these people, right? And then we have also a second list which are the marks of these people. Okay, and I'm going to use these marks as my values, okay, and the names as my index, right? So basically the same thing, but then we are just using the list names over here inside this function. So my marks will actually be the values, and my index is equal to names. So this name list will become will act as an as index or indices for my series, correct? So run this and see, you're getting this. So Raj, Rohan, and all of these names are now the indices in our series, and all of these marks are the values. Okay. Now, any question till now? Okay, there are two chats. Let me see. Why it is showing stop is equal to 5? Okay, so previous here. Yeah, because the last index that we have is actually, it is actually the number that it is returning, right? So we have actually 5 indices, right? So it is stopping uh, at 5. And always remember, again I'm saying that in Python the upper range is not included. So whenever you see something in the upper limit, so that is not included. Before that it is included, right? So before the indice before the 5 is 4, right? So here we will get that. So any more doubts, any more doubts in series? Any more doubts? No doubts? Okay, so here is the assignment question for you on series. So let me just explain what you have to do. So first you have to create one dictionary. Okay, so we have learned. So this is a good revision also. So we have learned about dictionaries, right? The data structure. So first you have to create one dictionary. So what should a dictionary look like? So this is how your dictionary should be. So vegetable, fruit, cereal, and dairy. This should be the keys in your dictionary, and these all should be the values. So first you will create a dictionary out of this information that is being given, right? Then you will check the type. Okay, then you will check the type of that object. Then you will create a pandas series from that given dictionary, from that dictionary. Okay, so the dictionary which you have created, you will convert that into pandas series. Okay, you have to use the same pd.series function to do that. Okay, then once you have the series created, you will again check the type of that object. So you should get series as the output when you check the type, correct? Then the second thing that you have to do is access the series element values. Okay. So you should access all the values, that is cabbage, orange, wheat, cheese. These are the values, right? So you have to access all of these values. Then you have to access the indices. Okay. And then you have to change the value of vegetable uh, from cabbage to any of your favorite vegetables. So you have to basically change the value for this one, but in series. Okay, once you have created the series, you have to do that. Correct? So please try this out and uh, and send in your submission, and I'll be noting who is going to who is submitting their assignment and not. Okay, from this assignment onwards, I'm like sir has asked me to give a report who is submitting and who is not. I will most likely create a Google Drive. I will share the link with you. So in that drive, you would have to submit your assignments. Okay, so that it is easier for me also to get and record. So you should include your name also as the name of your file. Correct? You should add your name to that file.
Yes. Aditi, there is a question from Nandu.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I think I missed that. Yeah.
No problem. So she just put it across. Can't we
Yeah.
print without displaying D type colon 64?
D type colon 64 over here.
Yes, in that particular one, yes.
Yeah, it is just giving you the information about the data type. Uh, like there is no need that you want to print out without that. Okay, it is giving you just the information. Do you want to add to this, sir? I think there is no need to print without this.
No, Nandu, are you asking like without the data type explicitly shown, do you want to print the rest of the data? But it is useful, right? To get the data type, what data type that is coming out. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is by default that it is giving us the data type also.
Yes. It is useful. I have not tried that till now, to be honest, because I have never thought of it. But yeah,
Yeah,
good question,
even
Nandu. Yes.
me. Even me.
Because we always go with the flow generally. Like when the additional data type is given, it is good generally because we do not know what is the data type inside the list or whatever the data structure that we are using. So it's always good to have that. So we can experiment it out once. Maybe when we are free during the session, we'll try it out once. You can also experiment it, try it out, Nandu. If you find a solution, just let us know in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. So let's move forward. Let us just complete the filtering conditions today, and we will see, we will learn about the data frames in the next session because of we are short in time. Okay. So let us see the filtering conditions on our series. Now what is meant by filtering? So filtering means that based on some condition, we want to filter our data, right? Right. So we have a particular condition, and based on that, we want to we want we want the values which are present, which are satisfying that condition, right, in our series. So this we can do by so here I'm creating a new series. Okay, I'm creating this new series, and I will use my earlier series name along with this square brackets, and inside that I will specify my condition. So here, let's say I want to have all of my series values which are greater than 75 in this particular series which we had created. Okay, so where did I? Yeah, so in this series, this is our series, and I want to have only those records which are greater than 75. So this is my condition, right? So what I will do, I will just write my condition inside the square brackets. So similar to how we were indexing, right? So here we will use the same format, but just that inside the square brackets we will give the condition which we want, right? So sample SCR greater than 75 is my condition, and I'm using that inside this. And just run this and see. We have now new series for which the values are greater than 75, correct? So the values which are lesser than 75 have been removed, or they are not considered in this new series, right? So we can validate this. We will just check that if Z, if a particular, we can also use this code to check, to validate if a particular index is present in the series or not. Okay, so if you remember, we had seen the operators, and there we had seen this in operator. Okay, so we will just see if Z is present in our series, sample series or not. So see, it is returning me false because Z as such index is not present in our sample series, right? So where is our sample series? I can run this over here, right? So Z is not present. So in this way you can see. Now let's see if A, when we check this, if A is present in sample series or not, what is the output that we are getting? So we're getting true, right? Why? Because A is actually present inside our sample series. Okay, so this is the way in which you can check or validate if a particular index is present in your series or not. Okay, and if you want to convert your series into dictionary, now see, I have given you the assignment of converting a series, a dictionary into series. Okay, so this is something that you have to figure it out yourself. And of course, we will be giving you the solution in the next class, but figure this out yourself. But the other way around, that is, how can we convert a series to dictionary, that I am going to show you. So that we do by using the to underscore dict function. Okay, so this, by just using this function, you can convert your series into your dictionary. So run this, and now you will see that all the indices that we had in our series now become the keys of this dictionary, right? So if you remember, the dictionary was all about the key value pairs, correct? So this A, B, C, D, E, F are now the keys of our dictionary. Okay, but in series it was actually the indices, right? But now when we convert our series into dictionary, the indices become the keys, and the values become the values of that dictionary. Okay, so in this way you can convert your series into dictionary also. And now you can again check the type, and now it will give you the dictionary type. Okay, so another assignment for you, the second question for the assignment is that you have to create a series which will have values like 500, 200, 250, 650, 400. So this will be the values, and indices will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, and then once you create this series, you have to filter out the days for which the values are greater than 300. Okay, so values that are greater than 300 are 500, 650, and so on. So you want to know the days um, for which these values are greater than 300. Okay, and similarly, you want to know you want to filter out the days for which the values are smaller than 300. So basically the same thing that we have done over here. Okay, filtering. So try this out. Both of these are really simple assignments, but then it will help you to actually test yourself if you have understood this concept or not. Okay. So I encourage you all to try these assignments and also the assignments that Kaushal has given. Okay. So any doubts up till now in the series data structure that we have seen in Pandas? So one data structure is the series and the another one is data frames, and data frames are like very useful. So we are going to learn extensively about data structures in the next session, about this data frames in the next session. Okay, but for the Panda series, any doubts that you have, you may ask now. Okay, I will just check my chat. So any doubts, any questions in Panda series? Have you understood Pandas series? Okay. Okay. So let's now move to Kahoot. We will be looking at this remaining part in the next session. Okay. Along with this few more topics that we have to cover. So in the next session, we will be covering Pandas, all of these topics.